So you know. Wowza. It's 5:33. I love that 33 and change. And we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to Gratitude Happy Hour. Just a little bit different today. And I have with me the wonderful Rebekah Renee. Hello, Rebekah.
Hey, is it shared on your Facebook yet, on Teri Angel?
It's on my timeline, yes.
Okay,
and Debbie Garcia is out there sharing it out. So Debbie, I know you can hear us. Can you share it to Rebekah's timeline, please?
Let me just check too. I will. Hold on 1 second here.
Okay. Thank you all so much for your patience today. My computer has issues. I'm on a different computer, so that's why it says that Gerald Ann is doing happy hour today. But it's actually me and the wonderful Rebekah. And I've been so excited for this show. So everyone that's coming on, please take a moment and share this out. Let people know that we're live.
I am just still trying to make sure that it's online, and I think it is.
Okay.
I'm just going to double check here.
Yeah, I'm just going to my page too.
And I don't.
And there it is.
Let me try this one more time. Debbie Garcia shared a link on my timeline. Yay, let's see. Okay.
All right. So it's being shared out right now. We're letting this audience build. We have Debbie Garcia, of course, and Val Meyer. Thank you. And Margaret Ellen, Gerald Ann Heatherdale. Awesome.
All righty, I'm just going to.
Yes, I see you that you just posted there. Awesome. Okay. And Robert Dosa. Okay, so we're getting our audience starting to find us. Thank you all for coming on and for sharing this out, because I've been so excited. And we have been trying to get this going since about 5 minutes till 5. So this has been quite a process to get us live on here today, Rebekah. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now I see you as frozen. So let me just.
Yay.
Yeah, you're frozen. I hear you. Okay, I think I see you again. Nope.
Okay, I think I'm.
Maybe because you went to Facebook.
Yeah, I'm going to hop right back on here.
Click back to Zoom.
Get back to Zoom. Let me, okay. Okay.
And Joe Labrito just jumped on. Hello, Joseph.
Okay.
All right, we're having a bit more technical problems.
I think it's on my Facebook. I can't tell from my phone, though.
Yes, it is on your Facebook.
Oh, it was playing. Awesome. Okay, I'll just get right off here and get right back on Zoom.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. You're still showing as frozen on my screen.
Okay. There we go.
There you are. Yay. Hi, honey.
Hi. Okay, now I can hear you perfectly. So,
Yay.
Wow, what a journey this has been.
I'm telling you, but anything that's worthwhile, we stick with it. We persevere.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And I'm just working with the earbuds. These are like the weird shaped kind, so I'll figure this out. I'll just hold them in my ears as long as
okay.
At least the hearing is perfectly clear now. So
yes, awesome. The hearing is clear. I don't have any feedback. So we are good to go. Let's
Yes.
start all over again. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spark the G Vibe Happy Hour.
Yes, absolutely. It's time for some gratitude. And I'm so grateful for all of you that are jumping on here and sharing this out. And grateful to Rebekah Renee for gracing us with her presence today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for gracing me with your presence. This is
Oh, you're
awesome.
so welcome.
This
We
is
have
awesome.
there's so much that I want you to share with the audience.
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah,
And
so
it was funny because on my I actually wrote a few notes, and I don't usually write notes, but I was like tuning into the Angels driving over from Tampa to Clearwater, and it was like, okay, what are we going to talk about today? And then my brain started going through like all this stuff. So but wow, and one of them is how is everyone sleeping at night? I wrote this down because I was up half the night last night, and I know several people were, but I don't know how it was for you.
yeah, it's been very strange because I'm not at home, so I'm not in my normal bed where I sleep. It's been really restless and intermittent sleep.
Yes.
It just I wake up at odd hours, like 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I feel like a baby that needs to get up and be fed,
Yes. Yes. For me, it's falling asleep by 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like a big ordeal.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it's not just you. Even my own daughter I spoke to today, and I'm sorry if I keep adjusting these. I have like no earlobes, so I'm just shoving them in there. But she was up. Ironically, her coworkers were up, and I think everyone sort of on this ascending spiritual path said that last night, and we're just being bombarded with these new light codes, and it's fascinating. And I'm on an experiment. I actually just came from the Clearwater Mall and got a B12 shot, and I guess they're supposed to help for sleep, which is ironic because I've always been told that they are good for energy. So, but
Right.
supposedly they help regulate the sleep schedule. So this is a little thing that I'm going to try out and do 3 or 4. And my daughter works there, so I get a discount. So why not?
Why not?
So why not? So I'm trying that, but I did do last night to try to wind down melatonin and valerian and all these natural herbal things. So, but in spite of that, I got a second wind like twice today in spite of the lack of sleep. So it's just we're upgrading like crazy.
Yeah, and I've noticed that as well, Rebekah. It's like even if I get 3 hours of sleep, I still during the day I'm so energized. But I think a lot of that and I'll just ask you what you think about it, is a lot of that because of the passion that we have for what's happening right now and
Yes.
wanting to get the messages out there.
Yes, especially when we get out, the clearing part's intense when you get into those lower places. And you know how the angels showed me the energy will sort of stream down from your higher self, which is connected to source energy, almost like a spotlight. So if you have ever seen, say if there were a fishing patrol coast guard looking for a boat in the ocean and they had a spotlight and they're searching everywhere for it. Well, our higher self energy is shining down in upon our physical vessels as a spotlight, looking for anything dense that's not ascending with us. So what will happen, we'll feel those bombarding waves of energy. And to me, sometimes they'll come in so strong, I'll be like, okay, I just talked to the other beings as if we're like best friends. Be like, you guys are assaulting my body, like stop it, like just tune this down. And they're showing me that it's going to affect your health in the long run, and also increases our gifts. It increases our communication with the other side, and keeps us from disease. The more density we release, the more of those trapped old emotions, old energies that we let go of out of the physical vessel, the more it purifies. So it's a purification process, and definitely not something we need to be afraid of, but it can bring up unprocessed fears that we have from other lives, just in general, where are we going? What are we doing? And things like that.
Yeah, that is so great. I hadn't heard it put that way, that it's a purification process that's happening. And I know a lot of people right now, including myself, are purging some of that energy that's not helping us, that's actually keeping us back, from going through the ascension process, because we're going into a 5D energy, which is light and full of just self-love and unconditional love. So if we're holding on to anything that's unlike love, we're not going to be able to do that.
Nope. It's like we're not taking those vibrations to heaven with us, or walking into heaven with our physical bodies. It's cool. It's a cool thing that we're doing, and walking into those dimensions, taking our physical, and they're not coming with us. And in the end, we're going to look back and say, oh my God, this was worth it. As intense, crazy, chaotic as it was, like, wow, I made it through this. And I knew that was only for a brief time. And look at my soul, how it's shining with this diamond consciousness, diamond consciousness. And if you think about it, I'll describe it to my clients this way. A diamond, to become a diamond, if you look at a piece of coal, it goes through intense pressure, but wow, is it beautiful when it's done? The rays and the shine and the light that comes from it.
I just typed that into the comments because that stuck out to me like a billboard. The diamond consciousness. Oh my gosh, Rebekah.
Yep. And I had learned about this. Even a few light workers have talked about it, but I was actually several years ago, I was in Rhode Island doing a personal class for myself. It had a lot to do with lineage healing, which I've always been fascinated with. Yes. And we did a personal symbol experience. And each person was different. Not everyone got the same symbols, and they could be anything. One of mine was an apple. They were just things that meant something to you, but one of mine ended up being a diamond. And it took me a few years, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really going for it in this lifetime. I'm going to diamond consciousness, and in the end, it's going to be magnificent no matter what it takes to get there. So yeah, a lot of us, definitely all of us on the same frequency, we're doing this. This is amazing what we're doing.
It is. And I love that we're doing it as a collective.
Yes. Yes. And it is. And the most amazing thing is, a lot of people, when they get bumped up into the higher frequencies, they can feel a little bit lonely because no one else is there yet. It's like, you're the pioneer, you're the and a lot of people look at, like, say, world leaders and things like that. Energetically, we are the leaders. We're the leaders in consciousness. They might be the leaders in the third dimension, but we're heading up there in the fifth dimension and doing this first. And we're waiting for the others to catch up. And sometimes it's like, okay, where's everybody at?
Yeah, absolutely. To be in the forefront.
Yes.
When you think of an army going into war and those on the front line, that's what it feels like.
Yes. And that's ironic that you said that. That's exactly how it was showed to me earlier today. So just showing that we're tuned into the same stream of consciousness. That's, you said what I didn't get to write down on paper, how I was feeling, like, wow, we're leading this army of light. Like it's wild. It's freaky sometimes. We don't know if we can finish it. A lot of people want to go home. They're done with this, but it's like, yeah, we're doing this and we're strong. And it's amazing because people are meeting more of their soul family. In fact, my daughter today, we're in Clearwater and we've been.
Uh-oh, I lost you.
And she said, oh my gosh, at work, I was in the mall and I met like 4 people. They actually started a soul family group on Facebook for their little group that they like, oh my God, those I remember you vibes, and we're the same and we're like this. And I'm just like, this is so cool.
That is cool. So you're in Clearwater right now. You've been traveling a lot recently, haven't you?
Off and on, yeah, for 4 years. And then, as fate would have it, I always believe in destiny. My older daughter moved down here with her husband about 4 years ago. And it was funny because I had been coming down definitely to get away from the cold weather and the snow. And I would stay longer each time. And then my younger one, I helped her move down here. So yeah, I definitely I was thinking of that today also, just being, where I'm at, and wow, Atlantis, old Atlantis. the closest to, Edgar Casey wrote all these things about the island of Bimini, and from Miami, actually, he wrote them and channeled all this amazing information. And so just being so close to all of that and trying to remember things that happened, and really amazing.
Yes, it really is. Is one of the things you do astral traveling?
I do. And I've done it for years.
So.
And it's funny because I would have clients and different ones. Some would be like, this was years ago. I had a healing center in Pennsylvania, but they'd be like, oh, I want to astral travel. And then other ones were like, well, will I be able to get back to my body again? That was a big concern, and just different things like that. And for me, it kind of happened naturally. And the amazing information you can gain and get and learn when you do it. For example, one of my interesting ones was a friend of mine used to give me sessions they were called PSEB, Physio Spiritual Etheric Balancing. And it was funny because we'd be in a healing room, and I'd be on a table, and he'd say, okay, close your eyes, but don't peek when I'm working. Of course I wanted to peek. So I would kind of peek once he first started. He's like doing this swirling thing around my aura.
Right.
But yet he didn't, it wasn't hands-on, it wasn't physical contact. And it would usually be about 10 minutes through, I would start to travel, and each time was different. But the one time I remembered, and it was one of the most amazing ones, I had no recollection of the third dimension or even being human whatsoever. It was just being pure energy. And I traveled, I'd say, faster than the speed of light. And it's hard to describe unless someone else has, had your own personal experiences, but it was almost like that one ride at Disney where you, it's dark and the roller coaster's inside. I don't know if it's Magic Mountain. I haven't been there in a long time, but where it's completely dark and you can just feel yourself zooming here and zooming there. And it was a euphoric rush that I had at this experience. And I was like, wow, I want to travel more.
Yeah. Well, you had brought up Atlantis, and that was why I'm asking about the astral travel, because I know that we can go to these places. We can go to other planets.
Yes.
And I love to astral travel, and I've been doing it for a while, and I was told that I'm a spontaneous astral travel. Which means you don't have to do, some people have to like go into a meditative state,
right,
and body relaxed enough so that you can go. But it just happens. I just do it.
I definitely feel that with you. Definitely. And just the whole that and the jumping timelines in itself, finding yourself in another reality just because you raised your frequency and you're like, oh my God, how did I get here? And understanding all of it from the higher self point, like as if you could look down and see yourself, all these aspects of you doing this, this, and this. And to some people, I don't know if they could handle it. It's a lot when you know that much about, a lot that other people wouldn't have the awareness of, and would maybe try to do ayahuasca to get the awareness of. When you have that awareness and you're like, whoa, it's fascinating. Definitely.
Yeah, it certainly is. And just going to the different dimensions, even that's exciting.
It is, especially the super high frequency ones, the ones where you don't want to come back to your body. And this is funny. I used to have a client, she's in Pennsylvania, and she would be able to travel pretty far when I worked on her. And I'd have my eyes closed, and it'd be the end of working on her. This was hands-on, particularly with her, but I'd be grounding her at her feet, and I had my eyes closed, and energetically I'd see her shaking her head no, like I'm not coming back. And I'd shake my head, yeah, like you signed up to be here, I'm not leaving you there. And the shamanistic part of me, those beings would come in and be like, well, how do I get her back? Like, what do I do? She's way out there. Be like, send her a kite. So I sent her higher self a kite and literally started reeling her in. And it was so cute because her shoulders kind of just went like this. She was really out there and came back. And the funny part was after she became a little bit grounded, and I said, well, how was your session? How was your journey? Like, how do you feel? And she goes, I did not want to come back. And I said, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, that really is how it goes. because I know there have been some mornings I wake up and I know, I still catch a glimpse of being like on another planet or in another dimension, another
Yes.
place. And it's like, I just want to stay, I just want to roll over and finish this, and
Yes.
stay in that energy because it is
It
amazing.
It is. And I personally too, I don't know if you're noticing this, more and more, we're going out farther, deeper, gathering information, expanding our consciousness so big, and to where when we come back to our bodies, I don't want to say it feels like a shock, but it's like, where am I? And I know I've been somewhere amazing. And like, I look around and even the sunlight's too bright. It's like, oh God, I'm back in a human body. Like, how did I get here? It's like,
Oh, and this just happened to me. I think it was yesterday. I wake up and I walk in the bathroom and I look in the mirror and I'm going, "Who are you?" It's like we're not
yes,
even recognizing our own human bodies anymore.
yes. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Just to talk to a few people that I do the same thing. And it's like, as they completely release any ego constructs we have. I mean, I know the ego does serve a purpose. It's not all bad, but just that the exactly coming in new and, oh my God, who and what are you kind of thing, that meeting of that part of your higher self that's so big and amazing. It can be a little freaky sometimes, like, what are you? Who are you? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I get the same thing. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, it's amazing. And I look in my eyes and I'm like, okay,
Yes.
you look a little different here.
Yes. Yes. And so many of us too. And we're glowing, and so many people looking younger. Even my friend Miriam, I saw her like a week ago and I was like, oh my gosh, do you look younger? Like, what's going on with you? And just, yeah, it's wild just to watch it happen.
It is, but it's exciting too.
It is.
All the
It is. It's like
news,
we
all
came here for this, and we're co-creating it all along. And it's like, I think it's all about trust in the end, that your higher self knows what they're doing, and allow them to lead the process, even if you get confused sometimes. Like,
Absolutely. I mean, we decided to be here during this
yeah,
time. This has never happened before.
nope.
This is
Nope. It's amazing. And that's what it is. A lot of times, even with clients, I'll get, okay, fear of the unknown will come up, and it's like, it's okay. And then you release it, and the oversoul knows what it's doing, like we were just saying. So, but yeah, just even losing people along the way. Some people are like, wow, I don't remember my old life. I don't have my old friends in my life anymore. Everything's so different. And you know what though, when those ones leave, the ones that fit your new consciousness come in. I mean,
yes,
and
exactly. I've
yeah,
noticed that happening for years now. It's like
yeah,
all of a sudden my whole circle has changed.
yep,
Those
yep.
that used to be there, it's like I know they're still here in the world, but there's no contact with them anymore.
No, and it's like, in people that can't rise up to your frequency or aren't there yet, it's strange. And sometimes you'll even try to make contact with someone, and
Mhm.
it just doesn't happen. If it's not ready to, it won't happen. Or if your frequency's just not where they're at. And it's amazing, because what can happen too with your energy is, some people will be very attracted to your light and just want to follow you around like a puppy and stay in it. And then other people, you will freak them out. They'll be like, they'll back away and just be like, what are you?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Rebekah, I know that you're also a healer, an
Yes.
energy healer. So, how have you noticed a shift with this energy that's really revving up? Have you noticed
Yes.
healing happening faster, or is there
Yes.
any difference than what it was before?
Definitely faster. And me, even personally, helping people to manifest things quicker, taking them up, and most of them are already pretty high anyways, maybe taking them up a notch higher, and aligning them with a different time, like helping them. It's always them that really do the healing, and the angels
Right.
just work through you. But
Yeah.
just being that conduit and point of contact and vessel. And even people, oh my God, I you worked with me last week and I manifested this and it happened so quick. And even me, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And it's sometimes you're like better at helping other people than yourself. It's one of those things happens, like, wow, I just helped them with that miracle. And I'm still working on this for me. Like, how did that happen? But it's so cool. And just watching the beings work and the miraculous things like cancer and the big things, I've been noticing a quicker shift with people like that. And it's like, oh yes, that's something I really wanted to be able to do, to really to go deep and strong and just kind of like go big or die kind of thing, even though it's not always easy. Just take it to all it could be, and go as high, as deep, as grand as you can. And that's one of the reasons for being here, is even to feel the highest vibrations of love that we can even fathom. And there's so many of those. Those ecstatic states are there, and it feels so good to be in them.
It certainly does. And, I'm really working on releasing and helping other people understand releasing those lower vibrations, because we have to maintain above the that neutral point. Above the point is all this love, it's joy, happiness, and below that you go into the fear-based emotions.
All of it,
helping people get rid of things that they're holding on to. We can't hold on to that.
No, and it's huge, because the beautiful thing about it is fear is very infectious, like a disease it can be, but so is love on that dimension. And when you infect someone with love and watch their aura expand, and they're all like, it's just like, wow. And the more of us that get to that point where we're going to tip that collective consciousness, it's going to be amazing how it ripples out into everything and everyone and transforms it. Like, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And that's the word, is transforming, because that's what's happening with us right now that are here at this point in time on the planet. We're all transforming.
Yep. Everyone. And
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And more people feeling it now more than ever.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say, we do it by transmuting that energy.
Yeah.
We can take that negative vibe of fear and transmute it into love. It's our choice. We have free will. Don't you love that we have free will?
Yes. And that's funny too, because I was just thinking about that earlier today, that we have free will and that we don't have to stay stuck in those lower vibrations. And who would want to be? It feels yucky. I mean, we're human, we have the emotions, but it's when people, it's kind of like feel them, resolve it. If it deals with forgiving someone, forgive them, let go of it and be free. It frees us up so much.
Yes, it does. And, as I explain to people about forgiveness, it's not about that other person.
No, it's not. And sometimes the other person has even no clue what they did, or that they did anything, or it's how you perceived it. Even with me, it was, I do my own, especially when my energy is really high, I'll do my own Facebook lives just that are focused on energy healing and sometimes readings and stuff. But I had this lady message me, and she was really angry because I didn't work on her or something. And it was like, and then I thought about it. And I mean, it was like, I envisioned her. And as I looked at her energy, it was just like I don't know how to describe it. She was being immature, basically. And I was like, I just explained to her, and I was like, you know what? When you have a lot of people like that, you can't do everyone. So, but hopefully everyone as a collective, hopefully get some kind of positive benefit. But she's like, yeah, you didn't get to me. And I'm really upset with you about that. And just this big email. And it's like, it's okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. A lot of people that are taking things personally. And that's one of the 4 agreements, the biggie in the 4 agreements. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
And something we all have to realize, when somebody's going through their path, they're angry, not just at you, they're angry at the world, pretty much.
They are. And even in looking at stuff with like being in a more public eye or different things like that, even with mediums out there, I mean, they'll get the Christian people on there that, well, this and that, you're doing this, you're doing the devil's work and all this stuff.
Right.
So no matter who it is, whether it's a politician, whatever, anybody that does anything with the public, I mean, once in a while you're going to get negative people, and you just kind of got to go with it, and don't let it affect you.
Yeah.
I think it's all about intent in the end. And, most of us here have good intentions with what we're doing here. So, yeah.
Yeah. Once we find that path that we came here for, we all have a reason for being here at this point in time.
Yes.
And finding that path and then going forward, we learn all those tools,
Yes.
like meditating, all of the things.
Yeah.
So tell us about your spiritual practices.
My spiritual practices. Oh gosh. It's funny now that I'm like, I've shifted so much even in the past year or two. Even with things like meditating, just life in itself becomes like a meditation. I will meditate more when I need to manifest something and laser beam my focus on something and create something that I need. And that's an interesting thing for me, becoming not, which is happening to us also, becoming not linear anymore, really being in these now moments. And for a lot of people, it's like, oh my God, I can't remember what I did last week. They're just so in the now, which is kind of cool, what we want, because that's where there's no anxiety, there's no worrying, because you're not in some future and you're not in some past.
Right.
And just accepting that now. But yeah, I do a lot of meditation when I'm trying to manifest, or I did do some last night because I was trying to sleep, and just talking to my body and talking to the angels and like, okay, I want to say back off a little bit, but it was kind of like, okay, can you tone it down? I know we got to crystallize this body. I know we're changing. I know we're doing this, but like, you're overwhelming me, kind of thing. And then I just did some deep breathing and just sent the energy out of my feet. And sometimes you just have to lay flat and let it pass through you. For me, my energy runs so strong, sometimes it'll feel like I'm being electrocuted. So then I'll try to get the thought out of my mind, like, okay, I'm a creator. I can create a calmer energy. And then I'll work with that creative aspect, and then I'll notice it'll start to calm down. But yeah, it's just, and they showed me this. It's like almost like before, if we could describe our physical bodies as a car, we were like a Chevy or something cool like that. Now we're like a Lamborghini and a really cool, like high powered, high turbocharged vehicle, this physical vessel. So in our crystalline form. So a lot of people like, oh, my heart beats rapid, vibrating. And it's like, yes, we are.
Yeah. And that's feeling.
It is. And it affects our nervous system. So sometimes you just got to breathe it through, like, okay, I have a totally new nervous system now, and it's on steroids, and my thing will be, well, what can I do good with this? So, okay, send healing to a lot of people, because you've got so much energy you don't know what to do with, and affect them in a positive way, and hopefully clear their blocks, clear their diseases, and use that kinetic energy in a positive way.
Absolutely. And I was giggling because I heard you say kind of like you're talking back to your spirit guides, and I've done that forever. I'm like sitting here arguing with them.
Me too. Yes.
What?
Yes. And they have unconditional love for us, so they don't like get upset. It's not like, they're our family. They're our soul family too. And it's just like, really, I've gotten to the point it's hilarious. And I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this mission anymore. You're giving me too much energy. You won't let me sleep at night. I'm so done. Because even last night, I wanted to literally, I was like, well, if I could just zip out of my body. I don't want to leave the planet. I don't want to cross over, but I want to do the mission, but my body's just too tangling. I thought, if I could just zip out of this suit and fly somewhere for a while and maybe come back, just, I'm sitting here thinking of all these things, like,
Right.
But it's a process, the whole shifting our DNA and everything. It's like, it's intense.
Yeah, it really is. And I know a lot of people are feeling that intensity to such a degree. It's like the headaches. And one thing that we've come to realize is that medicine doesn't touch those headaches.
No.
Well, it's not like the normal headache
Nope.
that we get in a human body.
Nope. And if you think about it, the whole pineal gland in the brain is just glowing with light. So all the pressure it's putting on the skull. The cool thing is it does get better. I had them for, I'd say 2 or 3 years. And during that time, I was extremely expanding. I mean, I'm still continuing to, but the headaches have, for me, gotten less. And I've seen it with some other people too. My daughter used to get them. She's getting them less. So I almost wonder if that's like a phase you pass through, but I've noticed some people better with them. And then it ends up being sometimes just some slight pressure, like right in here
Yes.
in the third eye.
And do you get tenderness in there?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
kind
still
of
get that.
stuff happening on the inside, and it's like pushing to the outside.
Yeah. And when that's coming, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be emotional. I'm probably going to be crying about something because it's pushing that density out and up. And then once you get it out, you're like, oh God, I feel so good. I feel lighter. I feel better.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are finding themselves crying and doing things that they don't normally do.
Yep, a lot of people sobbing. And that's releasing the heavy pain body, the emotional body. So it's important to do that. It cleanses the body in so many ways. That's one way of purging. I do a lot of purging just in general. When I go to Jupiter, my friend Joyce has a sauna, so I'll sit in that and purge that way by sweating. There's so many ways to do it, but yeah.
Yeah, so that was a very good point, because it's not just our physical body and the physical symptoms that are being affected, it's also emotions.
Yeah, big time.
And some people are just like questioning their spirituality. They're like, okay, if this is, this is real, if this is how it is, I don't want any part of this.
Exactly. It's, it is. It's like some of the parts of awakening can feel like torturous to some level. And I've been through all of those and the dark nights of the soul and all of that. Mm-hmm. And once you get past that, some of those stages, it's like, okay, we get a break. And eventually, kind of how I was shown, once we get to that part where there's going to be nothing left but our light body, and there's going to be nothing left to purge. And we're literally, the angels showed me this. If you could see what we look like energetically, we still feel solid, definitely. So if I do this, we still feel solid. But we've purged so much even over the past 5 years. We definitely are different, way different energetically than we were. In 5 years ago, they showed me if we would have tried this, we would have fried ourselves out, literally. So it's been gradual, this process, and the dial's definitely being turned up. But with the higher bodily frequency, we are able to access the 5th dimension easier in those super high dimensions, which is they're the cool parts of it, definitely.
Yeah, I've said for so many years, if I know there's an end to something that's happening and that I'm going through, I can tolerate it. I can tolerate it.
Yes, that's the key. Yeah. And that's where a lot of people are at right now. Okay, is there an end to this? Are we going to go into this 5th dimension? And something interesting I was shown too was that we have the rotational. I know a lot of people have talked about the poles flipping and things like that. And maybe they were talking about the same thing, but the axis that we spin out of the earth, as time is speeding up, as the Mayans had prophesied, is going to, even though it feels like time's speeding up, the earth is actually slowing down on her axis, and we're going to get to that stopping point, and our spin's going to go the other way, from what I understand. And that's when we're anchoring that 5th dimension is going to be fully tethered in, where we never go back to sorrow, the lower vibrations, and we have that heaven on earth. So we're definitely we're so close, we can feel it, but we're okay. the whole labor pains that we're in, of the earth, and we're all trying to cheer each other on, okay, we can do this, just breathe.
Oh my gosh, Rebekah, I just read something about that recently, about how we're going to be going in reverse.
Isn't, oh my God, I know. Isn't it like, it's, yeah.
You get chills even when you
I know. I know.
Yes, this is really
Yes.
happening.
I know. I know. And we're, and you know, the other side of the veil, they're working with us too in ways we can't even imagine to merge our dimensions, to literally not only merge our dimensions, but have our new heaven and our new earth, just like was prophesied for us eons ago. And we're like here again. We're doing this time, and it's like, wow, it's miraculous, and it's definitely full of every emotion under the sun, for sure.
It really is. And a big key here, I believe, is allowing whatever comes through. The more we resist something, the more that's going to persist. So we want to allow the feeling, say, okay, bring it up and out, and just keep going forward. Get that forward momentum going.
Right.
Not in a state of resistance. Resistance is the worst thing we can do with all of this, with the symptoms, with those emotional feelings, everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So I know that you work very, very closely with the angels. Tell us about some of the archangels that are helping us right now and what their role is in helping us as a collective. And
oh my gosh.
To bring us
to. Yeah, you know, there's the stuff that I know about, and then there's the part that is always going to be a mystery. There's a part of them that's always going to be a mystery, but definitely the angels too, you know, even in the Bible, like they talked about the archangels, the seraphim, the principalities, the different whole tier of angels. On some level they are, but on one level they are a collective. If you could picture them as one big huge angel, but different aspects of that one big huge angel might carry this aspect that a person needs. For example, there's an angel I work with named Cassiel. She helps with depression and heartache. A different, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's one amazing way they work. Obviously, Archangel Michael, and his biggest thing that he helps with is fear, including human fear, transmuting it. And then that's how his protective aspect comes in, because they don't attract what they were fearing. So that's what a huge way in what he works, and works with the collective fear also. And specifically, if he could be assigned an organ, it would be the kidneys. So yeah, they work with different ones, will work with different organs. It could go on and on, I mean, infinitely, but particularly, and you know, sometimes information that some people get, because every mission's different. I work with a particular angel, and when I started working with this angel, it was like, oh my God, this energy is so powerful. Where are you from? I always just pose a question, what do you do? And it's like, well, I'm from the photon belt area, bringing you concentrated energy to work with you in your healing process. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'd never heard about them written anywhere, the photon angels, but it makes sense because it's so cosmic, you know. And I just, sometimes it'll just be like a telepathic communication or knowing. And that's one of the cool things about angels. They just know things. And it's just, when you align with that, you get that knowing, and you just know kind of stuff. But yeah, amazing. And they're always with us. And sometimes it's harder if our vibration's low to feel them, but when we rise up a little bit and align with them, oh my gosh, they're amazing. They work miracles for us behind the scenes, arrange those meetings with the soul family that just like, oh my gosh, those, like, how those synchronicities, they put those together. I mean, it's really cool.
Isn't it amazing? It's like we're being shown everything that we need to help us in this process. You know, I can have something I'm working on, and I'm like, okay, I really need to understand this better. Well, the next thing you know, I get an email with information, or, you know, click on a post on Facebook, and there's exactly what I have been asking for.
Yeah.
It's like you said, those synchronicities are getting more and more.
And more and more, and they help guide us, let us know we're okay, let us know we're on the right path, on the right track. I lost you, Teri, but I don't know if I have to join back on. Let's see. Okay, no, it still says we're live on Facebook, and I can't even see my Facebook right now because I'm on here. Okay. I am waiting for you, Teri Angel. So I'm going to see if I'm still live on Facebook. Let's see here. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to try this one more time. Yep, I am still on. I don't see Teri on. Let's see here.
Rebekah, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay. Yeah, the laptop just died.
Okay.
So I reconnected using my phone.
Okay.
Sorry about that, but I hope you kept talking.
I did. I was like, I think I'm still on.
I just have to laugh because it's like we want things to go smoothly, and with this energy, nothing does.
No.
Nothing
Especially our
works.
electronics, of course.
Yeah, yeah, nothing works the way it used to, and
No,
that's
it
what.
doesn't.
Yeah, that's what we're having to realize. And thank you. Okay, so
Yay.
so I don't have to hold it in my hand.
So it's still, so basically we're still, I kept talking, so we're still on the same Zoom stream.
We're still live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still on
Okay, I thought
Facebook.
so. I was
And
like,
thank
yeah,
you
I
all
can
for your
hear.
patience with us.
Definitely. I know, especially when you have a collective group of people, no matter what size they are, that are just vibrating so high. It's like, wow, it's so easy for the electronics to go out and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We've always known that energy affects the electronics, but now with us all raising our vibration so high, it's like I'm amazed that I even get online.
I know, definitely. Yeah.
So we do have a few minutes left in the show. Tell us how people can reach you, and if you have any events going on, or anything where you're at, just
online. So you can reach me obviously on Facebook. Rebekah Renee is my Facebook name. On my email is soulfire444@gmail.com. And I would give a website, but I still have one under construction, and someone just offered to make me another new one. Actually, like 2 people did. Wow. So that is a progress in itself. I did my own website once. This is so funny. The hardest part was to focus, because I'm so spacey from doing the energy work. And it's like, yeah, maybe I'll have someone else do this. But that's the best way to get a hold of me. Facebook Messenger, my email right now. And I do private sessions and events. I have a class coming up actually this Friday over in Coral Springs, Florida. Another one. I've done several on that side of Florida on the East Coast. A cellular memory class. What's that? Oh,
Tell
okay,
us
so
about
it's awesome. So doing the class, it gives the person the ability to channel. There's 9 angels that will work with them. It's a permanent connection they'll have to them. Not that they don't already connect to angels, but these a specific council of them that are really amazing. And it's all about learning cellular memory healing. The energy ray is the violet ray. It's stronger than Reiki, although Reiki's awesome. It goes deeper and releases deep traumas, deep cellular memories that they have, working with the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual layers. So all encompassing of their energy bodies. So it works with them as a whole in all areas. It's absolutely amazing and something I've done for years. So that's the class I'm teaching. It's a certification course. It's pretty awesome and will help anyone that wants to open an energy therapy practice. Definitely can put them on an amazing path to do that. So that it's a 3-day intensive. I'm also developing my own brand, I want to say. There's something I'm developing now. It's still in the works, but a class I'm going to be able to do online, because the one I've been teaching, the cellular memory class, has to be in person. So something I can teach online. So I'm really excited for people that want to work with the angels and really go out and help people. It'll be strong. It'll be strong energy. It'll be really good. So it's still in the works right now, and that's to be announced. So that let's see, what else do I have going on other than I do a lot of Facebook Lives and group consciousness healings off and on. And hoping to expand. There's a documentary that's going to be done actually in South Florida on your side. Just projects like that that are to come. That could deal with really big expansion, like TV stuff, cool stuff like that. Definitely, yes. So those kind of projects, definitely. And maybe you'd be a good person to be on it to talk about your experiences. It's going to be a lot of it's going to be for new beginners, for people that look at us like these woo-woo people, to explain in a more I don't want to say generic terms, but like just the basics, like that everything's energy and simple things like that. And people that could come from it doesn't matter if they have a religious background, just understanding metaphysical things, quantum physics, all the cool stuff, how the universe works and stuff like that.
I love it. Yeah. I love
it. Yeah.
Yay. So if you all heard that, so if you're interested in any of what Rebekah has going on, please contact her.
Definitely.
Tell them the email address one more time.
Yeah, one more time. So it's Soulfire, SOLEFIRE 444 @gmail.com. And then Facebook private messages I usually get to pretty easily. And hopefully I have a new website up pretty soon. Yay. Again. So yay.
We will look for that and talk about manifesting, right? Yes. This is exactly what you did. People are offering that help. So that is a manifestation. That's abundance.
Definitely. Definitely. And it's amazing because we're manifesting at rates higher now. Than the higher your frequency, the quicker you can manifest. I had to laugh because I love telling this story. I was on one of my road trips before, and the thought came to my mind, oh, I really want a smoothie, because I'll get like high protein smoothies in hopes of grounding a little bit sometimes. And the person I'm traveling with is like, hey, do you want to put in the GPS? Let's go to Smoothie King. And I'm just like, wow, no, that's cool. And I had one in my hand in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, wow, I thought of it. I want it. And that's how we are when we do, before we incarnate. We just think of it and it appears. So we're getting to those levels. Yes. So yeah. And that's why the hard part is, okay, discipline our thoughts. Don't think of negative. It's not the easiest, but we're getting better at that and creating what we want.
Yeah. And that's totally what happens when we move from all those low vibrations that we've been holding on to. Once we
Right.
clear that out, we've got a clear field to manifest.
Yes. And that's key too. That's amazing that you said that, because I was shown that by the angels a long, long time ago. That's what we need, the clear field. When it's clear, when we're clear, we manifest so easily, so quickly. It's when we have those blocks that we all get, that we're constantly trying to release, that we can have trouble, or it can take a little longer. But yeah, that clear field, definitely. And it feels so good to have a clear energy field. That's when we're in those like awesome, blissful states that all the ancient ones talked about, you know, those ecstatic states.
Feeling the lightness.
Yes,
That's what I
yes.
love about it. You know, when there's something sitting in there that you haven't dealt with and you haven't taken the time to remove it, you're just like heavy. And then when it goes, you're like, oh my God, I think I'm going to float away.
Yes, yeah, exactly. You go to that exact opposite. Like, oh my God, yeah, I feel like I'm going to float away. Like, this is wild. Like, where's gravity?
Yes, exactly. Absolutely love it. Love it. And I love you, Rebekah.
I
And
love you too.
all that you're doing. You know, you're such a bright light out into the world. And I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
I tune into your lives because I want that energy coming at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, just flood me with Rebekah energy today.
Oh, thank you. I love it. I'm honored to be able to do that too. And as many of us are, and to be able to do it at such a strong level. I never imagined that. And sometimes I'm like, okay, just help me tether this in so I can remain in my body feeling from that whole I'm going to float away thing. But it's such a good feeling to be able to affect the collective energy that way, which was one of the larger angels, as we were talking about the angels, told me in 2013, you're going to work with, I was like, why is this happening to me? I couldn't get out of bed for 5 months, literally clearing, processing. And it was like, well, we're going to use your body a lot. You're going to channel a lot different. It's going to be different. I'm like, but I didn't ask for this. I was like, but I can't handle it. I was like, not me. I can't do this. And then it was like, but you're going to work with groups. And I thought, wow, how rewarding is that going to be? Okay, I'll go through this, but it's going to be really rewarding and really amazing to be able to affect people and things like that. So a positive. So
it is. It's so exciting. And that's the thing about it. We have a choice to make. We can see it as exciting. We can see the world as exciting, an adventure, or we can look at it like, oh my God, this is terrible. What am I doing here? You know, so we have the controls with that.
We do. And sometimes that can even freak people out. Like, wow, I just manifested this. I was just telling someone, a beautiful friend on your side of Florida, actually, you know, I'm worried about money or this and that. And I said, oh, we're at the point where we can manifest out of thin air in a day or two. Literally. I said, I do it all the time. If I have a bill I have to pay, I just pull it in and somehow it shows up. And we have that ability. And it's like, oh my gosh, sometimes you're like, well, do I want this much power? But the more you learn to work with it, the more you're just like, wow, I'm a creator. This is amazing.
Yes.
Wow, what a gift.
It really is. I love it. And I love collaborating with people. So
yes,
at some point we can collaborate when you come back down my way.
Definitely, which is actually going to be tomorrow. That's so funny. I'll be there for the weekend for the class. So yeah, definitely. And maybe a few days next week. So that'd be awesome. Whenever we can. I come back over there. I'm kind of back and forth. So
wonderful. Okay, well, we have, I think, spent the most part of an hour together.
Yeah.
And on my happy hour, I always end it with sound healing with the singing bowl. Yes. Could you send out some healing while I play this?
Definitely.
Okay, this is Angel Joy. Like I said, I'm not at home, so this is the cousin to my singing bowl. This one belongs to Gerald Ann. So I'm going to start playing, and all of you that are listening, please tune in and get this healing from Rebekah.
Definitely. And just set an intention to release all that no longer serves you. Everything you'd like to clear, heal, release, and be free of. At the deepest levels of your being. And these are quantum rushes of energy coming in from the photonic angelic realms, the higher dimensions. Just allow your breathing to shift if needed. And a beautiful rose just appeared. Just feel a blessing from Mother Mary. That maternal love, that nurturing love, safety, protection, and guidance. And if there's anything now that you'd like to create or manifest, just bring this to mind now. It can be anything you want. And so it is.
And so it is. Oh my goodness. I felt that so strongly.
It was strong.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And if anyone needs to ground, I saying this because a friend came over. A friend came over actually up to Zephyr Hills last month, and I didn't feel she was fully grounded when she left, and she had a little bit of a car accident. She's fine, but the car is not so fine. And my intuition was like call her and make sure she's in her body, and I didn't listen because I didn't want to. The part of me is like, well, I don't want to scare her, but I still. And she ends up calling me, and I'm like, I felt it. So. But a good way to do that is take your left hand and place it upon your right knee, and your right hand and place it upon your left knee, and that kind of pulls you into your body and kind of center yourself. So, but
wonderful,
yeah, awesome.
Wonderful. Great tip. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you, and thank you. Thank you to everyone that tuned in, and those of you who will watch it on replay, and you'll receive that healing energy on the replay as well. It'll still come through. So thank you again, Rebekah. I love you.
I love you. Big hugs.
I'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.